The pilot episode. Here we go again. With your three friends, Drew, Neil, and Perk. We got your favorite movies and shows. It's three guys nobody knows. The pilot episode.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pilot Episode Podcast. I got Perk and Calvert with me today. Neil is not here. We had some schedule conflicts come up, but we said in our last episode we were going to have to kind of work with the schedules because mine and Calvert's work schedules are actually completely opposite right now. So it makes things a little difficult, but we wanted to make sure Calvert was here for the final episode because there's going to be so many questions going into season 3, the recap of season 2, what happens from a video game perspective. We wanted to make sure we had that. Perk has that perspective, but in his own words, he's still learning. Calvert has played this and knows a little bit more about it. So we wanted to make sure he was here. This episode will be a touch longer than normal because we are recapping a season and predicting a season. So sorry about that, but we're going to make it work. The first thing I want to get into from this particular episode was just there was so much going on. We're wrapping up storyline after storyline after storyline. The biggest, obviously, being Lucy and Hank. And I want to say also the kind of co-biggest would probably be Cooper finding out about his wife and daughter. So the best part of this episode, in y'all's opinion, what was your favorite part of episode 8?
To me, the best part, my favorite part was when the NCR showed up to save Maximus. That was my absolute favorite part. It was a direct reference to the like opening of Fallout New Vegas, like the same shot basically as the opening, like the loading screen opening. It was great, and I love that the NCR is still out there, and they actually were right, and they're still there, and I love the NCR.
My favorite was probably like a very similar type style of scene. It was someone saving the day. It was when Cooper came back through the vault and actually saved Lucy. And you've seen so Cooper kind of betrayed Lucy a little while back, but we all know why that was for now because his goal ultimately is to get to his wife and daughter. But
Right.
you also still see in that particular scene just the respect that Cooper has for Lucy because he doesn't kill his father. He says if it was up to him, he wouldn't just be sitting there bleeding out of his ass on the floor. But it ain't up to him. And he slides his gun to Lucy, saves Lucy, and then still puts the power in her hands because it's her dad.
Yeah.
Calvert?
I kind of like the Enclave Pit Boy. That was really cool. That was a nice looking little Pit Boy, dude.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that, isn't it?
In the show, yeah. So that's what Hank had in his briefcase. So he was working with the Enclave the entire time, and so was the president of the United States.
Yeah, he was like a double agent the entire time, basically. And we find out that him and Steph are married, I guess, or were engaged before the bombs or something. And Hank just got thawed out before she did. So then he ended up, having Lucy with her mom. But that was wild.
Yeah, I was very caught off guard by that. But like to your point, Calvert, you find out that Hank's been working with the Enclave the entire time. Robert House even tells Cooper that there was someone working with them the entire time, and then it immediately flashes to when Hank and Stephanie are in Vegas and they are getting married after spending the night together.
Which, right when he first gets to the vault, when he starts working on the chips, he talks into that microphone. And we talked at the time, we didn't know if he was talking to House. We didn't know if he was talking to the Enclave. And now we know he was talking to the Enclave.
Yeah, it was just a curveball, I guess you would say, which I don't know if that caught y'all, Calvert, I don't know if that caught you off guard as much as it did probably a lot of the viewers. Because I've read a lot of reviews on this show, and we'll get into those in a little bit. But some of the people who did not play the video game, like myself, they feel like we're kind of like behind And obviously that's natural. We are going to be behind. But we don't know if we're supposed to know something or if we aren't supposed to know something. So I didn't know if that was something that might have been like you knew it was possibly coming.
Well, I guess and that's the right way to put it is like what's possible or what's probable because obviously nobody knows the story. We start out and then all my cousins that watch this are like, "Oh, the vault dropped the bombs," and then now we know, it's a little different than that. And I think it's just I guess people you kind of just get more used to the way they write the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me they weave the story very well. Like your week to week, your opinion on a character or on what happened can change just dramatically from week to week, and it's really cool.
Yeah, that whole like the president and the enclave thing that actually kind of goes back to a conversation me and you actually had Calvert on the phone off the podcast whenever this season first started when Robert House tells Cooper that the time when the bomb was supposed to go off, which was his daughter's birthday, it moves up whenever Cooper takes his trip to New Vegas or to Vegas back then. And we find out now that that's because he stole it and then gave it to the president, which was the enclave. That's why the time frame moved up so much. It wasn't just that Cooper was going to do something himself. He, without knowing, actually did something.
He meant well. Like he didn't mean to. He thinks House is a psychopath, and he just gave it to the government because you're supposed to be able to trust the government. But that's
another thing I guess we've seen going through this episode, we actually see what happens or a look into what might have happened to Barbara and Janie. Janie, that's her name. Whenever Cooper gets to open their cryo chambers, and we have the postcard of Colorado that says Colorado was a great idea.
right, and that means we're going to Colorado, and that's a thing from one of the games, Fallout Tactics, takes place in Colorado, and that's where Vault Zero is at. So, like, that is like the home base of the Enclave, from my understanding. Like, that's where all of the like smartest people in the country were housed at, and cryo frozen, and all that stuff. So, like, these are very, very smart people that they're going to run into.
And I think you're seeing a scene of that place during that. Whenever the Enclave is like showing all the phone calls coming through, I'm pretty sure that's where that's at.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Did Tactics get made non-lore?
It was made non-canon here a while back, but this makes me think that they're like recanonizing it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Y'all start canonizing. I just let y'all go.
Yeah, it's a really interesting situation because I had the same thought in like all of the videos and everything I've watched. Everybody was like, "Don't even pay attention to Tactics because that doesn't matter anymore," and like the Brotherhood of Steel game doesn't matter anymore because it was decanonized. But now they're bringing Tactics back into it by going to Colorado. So I don't know if they're going to write a new story in Colorado or if they're going to kind of follow some of the stuff that happened in that game.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of another big point that happened this episode specific.
Follow up on the Legion. That was a big one. Macaulay Culkin is now Kaisar or Caesar or whatever you want to call it. And they are marching towards New Vegas, and they are going to try and make Caesar's Palace a thing, which is the name of a casino. But
did Caesar actually live here? This is the real Caesar's Palace.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
That's basically what's going to happen. But they're marching toward New Vegas, so I'm really looking forward to next season. We're going to have an NCR versus Legion war next season.
That's kind of what I figured, and that I will get into one of the reviews briefly right here. I've seen it in a lot of these reviews. I'm not going to read the review off to you, but one of the biggest disappointments in this season from a lot of critics and people who review on IMDb was that at the end of season 1, we had the insight to what was going to be Fallout New Vegas, and then we did not get a lot of work from these different factions. Like the NCR is in these, the Legion it's in these episodes, but like they're not as big as they were kind of expected from a lot of the audience, I guess you would say. So like the NCR, like they're very briefly, like they may have, I don't know, 20 minutes total airtime in this entire season, but they do come back in the end and they are alive and well, even though we thought they might have been dead.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's tough because they're really handcuffed by the fact that they did 8-episode seasons.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if they had 10, 12, 16-episode seasons, they would have had way more time to flesh this stuff out.
Yeah.
And
they still do.
Yeah, right.
They're not done with Vegas.
No. The way they're approaching it is, to me, it almost feels like, you know how The Walking Dead had like a mid-season like break when they had seasons? To me, it feels like between season 2 and 3 feels like a mid-season break for like a season of The Walking Dead is what it feels like to me.
that makes a lot of sense because, like, to your point right there, Cal, and we're going to get into it a little bit more in the end, with it being the question of what's going to happen in season 3. So you're fully they're not done with Vegas. Vegas is going to be a very big part of season 3, I'm guessing.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to go with the ghoul to Colorado. So he's
Right.
either gone by himself for a season or he's gone by himself for the next video game, which some people are saying it looks like that could happen. He may be. I would hope they wouldn't be done with him, but I just think that right now, what's going to cause is he going to be on his way there and decide not to go because of the war with the Brotherhood of Steel that's going on, or because of what he sees out of happening in New Vegas? What is going to happen to make him stay, or are we seeing him leave for a while, if not indefinitely?
Well, you see that in a lot of TV shows where, like, you have different storylines taking place in different areas. So, like, we could have and which you even seen that this season for the most part. Like, we could have a big Vegas going, through situation, and then you could have the Cooper Gould trip to Colorado and everything he goes through on that journey and everything. So, like, that could work. I mean, they could have a little bit of both worlds going on.
If that's the case, it's going to be extremely shallow.
Mm-hmm.
If they're going to get him to go to Colorado for 3 to 4 episodes and then make his way back, he's going to get there and find his family's dead and gone or something crazy. It's going to be extremely shallow, and he's going to be on his way back.
I saw somebody thinking that his wife is going to be dead and gone, and his daughter is going to be like a prominent role in the Enclave at this point. Is what I saw. Somebody's thinking that like his daughter's going to be like 70 years old and like the president at this point or some crap. And I could really see them doing some crap like that.
Here's my thing though. Do you think that his wife and daughter? So here's the thing. Okay, if they're not in the cryolator and she left a card about Colorado, it makes me think they never got in it. Okay,
Maybe
if they didn't,
and even
unless
if they
she said it
did,
where it
how
would
long
open.
ago did they leave it?
Right, because it's been 200 years.
Yeah.
So they're, in my mind, they're either ghouls or they're dead or someone let them out. And if someone let them out, how did they get out? Where did they get? Did she have the ability to do that herself? Right. They're either ghouls or they're dead.
And we know Hank wouldn't have just let them out and just let them go. Like he would have experimented on them just like he did to other people that was in those pods. So
there's more to there's still stuff we don't know. I feel like
yeah, definitely, and like this season did a really talking about like how your opinion will change on a character so much. For a lot of the season, I absolutely hated his wife because I thought she was like a huge contributing factor in the like ending of the world, and then come to find out in the past 2 episodes, we found out that she was just a cog in the wheel and she was stuck basically. And morally, she wanted to save her daughter. And I get that. But like, dude, there's so much story there that I feel like they can go a handful of ways, and there's 1 or 2 ways that they could screw it up. But there's a lot of ways that they can make it really good.
Yeah, the thing that Fallout does, and I could compare, I could make a really good comparison with it. But I don't want to offend anybody. But they'll take something. I don't want to offend anybody. There's a very good comparison, and it's not anything that's necessarily offensive, but it could be. And we just need good vibes. But the thing that they'll have you like thinking something is wrong, and then it's wrong, and then you're really not sure though if you agree with it, like it's the right thing to do in this situation. And then they'll have you thinking you're doing something that's right. And then, like, in the back of your mind, you're like, you really never know where morality lands. Like with Hank's idea, if you look at Hank's idea, you know it's wrong. But like in this setting, it's like, man, it sounds like a paradise, but I know he can't do that, you know.
Right.
So
See,
Lucy doesn't know whether to shoot him in the head or give him a hug, you know.
it's kind of like when I was doing my playthrough of 4 with the Brotherhood of Steel, when the whole Paladin dance thing comes up. You're like, okay, so I've went to war with this dude. He's a great dude. He seems like he's the best character in all of Brotherhood of Steel, but he is a synth. What do you do? And then you're just like, what am I supposed to do, dude? Like, I don't want to blow his brains out.
Yes. To follow the Brotherhood of Steel's calls, you have to be made of steel and a cold heart and no emotion. And the Fallout gets you. It gets your morality compass in the middle of it, and it likes to pull it one way and the other.
Mm-hmm.
It likes to pull on the morality if you're trying to be a moral character. Because we project ourselves in Fallout games. We do. You just, especially the first time you play through, you do. You make the decisions you would make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that we want to touch on from season 2? Any long storyline? Oh no, I had one more. I was going to bring it up a second ago. It was the whole Norm situation with the roaches and everything, and all the people that was with him. That played out in a way that I felt like was a little strange, because like the roaches were in the room with Norm, but yet they tried to attack the other people. I didn't understand that. I guess that's just probably a movie type or a TV show type magic.
Yeah,
type
and then the one person that survives the attack is the girl that he's interested in.
But
I had that same.
It's very detailed though.
Disbelief.
So the girl that he's interested in, if you paid attention, it was very detailed, because that crossed my mind. The roach that was on top of her had a screwdriver in it.
Yes.
Simply signifying that she stabbed the last roach.
Correct.
So the roaches came out of the elevator shaft.
Mm-hmm.
He locked himself in the other room. The roaches killed on those people. It just so happens the girl kills the last roach, and that's why he's good.
Yeah.
That's why he's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they were detailed about that, but it is cool. It's very, what a coincidence. It's almost like there's a director, and this is a movie.
You see why she's like hesitant to be like, let's kill him, because they continue to mention that she just started 2 days ago. Or last week or something like that.
Yeah, it's like a week at most. Like, she shouldn't even been in there anyway.
Yeah.
She's probably going to be a bigger role.
Yeah, because she has a moral compass. She's not, I guess you would say, brainwashed by what some of the ideas of these people. So I think she could play a prominent role. That's a good point there.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hank is going to develop and become a problem.
Hank?
Yeah.
I think he's going to develop and become a problem. He's going to lead some kind of faction that they end up having to deal with or something, if they keep it going.
So my thing, I didn't have this thought until episode 8. Is Hank's like little project thing, is that basically just kind of like a version of synths, basically, in a way?
Mentally, it could be.
Yeah, right. Because it's just like a different way to have somebody, or like a body that you control and make do whatever you want to do. So it's basically the same thing as a synth. It's just not a robot.
Yeah. It's control and trying to remove the primitiveness of human nature in a wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the last thing that we have that I want to touch on for this season was at the end when Stephanie is locked into the overseer's office and she initiates phase 2. For those of us who have not played the game, any thoughts on what phase 2 is?
No.
Yeah,
We could speculate. You could say phase 1 was them making the prototypes or whatever. If that's phase 1 of the Enclave mission, of Hank's secret mission. So she was in on it with Hank the whole time, obviously.
Yeah.
So he's doing that. And phase 2 may be that you don't know. Maybe they kill all the vault dwellers in phase 2. Maybe they cause these things to lead people to one place where they're going to gather resources. You don't know.
They talk about how there are multiple vaults for management. Like there are multiple, because the ghoul says that he's gone through multiple in Oregon, Colorado, Oregon, California, all that stuff. I'm thinking that there are other Hanks out there. And there's like an army of these people that have got the chip in their neck. And maybe that's what phase 2 is now this army's going to start marching toward wherever they want to go.
I thought, which it could be completely wrong, the possibility of, and I could just see this happening because it could, you know, calm everyone in the vaults and everything, would be possibly them taking the vault dwellers to the surface, unlocking the doors, and they're going up. So she opens the overseer's office and she's like, "I've just received word. We're clear to go to the surface now."
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that is very true.
That's
Because
a
how else
great
is she
idea.
going to get out of that office?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the only other thing that we've got floating in the air is the FEV possibility of them like having like systems in the vault that they can just rain FEV down on all the people and turn them all into mutants, and then she gets out that way. That's
Yeah.
possible too.
Yes, and hey, I want to point out I called this on a few episodes ago several weeks ago about what I thought was going to happen to all those managers that got out of the vault with Norm, and I told you I thought they were all going to get slaughtered.
I do remember that. You did say that. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, but question: do you guys think what do you think happens with the ghoul? I feel like if the ghouls actually planned on making it to Colorado, either we get some kind of story and it's short, or we don't see him. Do you think Norm is coming to fill in more space with the other storylines, since now Maximus and Lucy are together, and it looks like they both want to be together romantically still, so they're going to be running together? Did Maximus just replace the ghoul as far as her partner? And look at that. Remember how the companion works?
Mm-hmm.
The companion completed his story. Does Maximus replace the ghoul as her companion? And is Norm going to take all the spotlight from the alternate story mode? And are we just going to have in the back of our mind that the ghoul's out there in Colorado? Because I'm here to tell you, he's not the ghoul. He's Walton Goggins, and he's the best thing they have. So I just don't feel like they can let that happen.
Yeah, it's very tricky because I feel like you're right. Walton Goggins is what a lot of people watch this show for, just like every other show that he's ever been in his life. So I don't know.
Reviews.
Right.
These
so
reviews.
I don't know. I don't know why people put his characters in these predicaments where he could just disappear for a while or ever worry about dying, because everybody watches Walton Goggins shows for Walton Goggins.
Yes, I'm very interested in seeing what may play out there.
Yeah, but I think you have a solid theory. Like, I don't know if we're just going to check in on him like periodically, like, oh, now he's in Utah or something like that, and like just see him for 10 minutes of an episode here and there. I feel like that's most likely to be what happens, because I don't know, like you said earlier, how you pace it if he's by himself completely and making this trip versus all the other storylines that you have to keep up with, because we do have the Legion and the NCR going, like they're going to have a war next season. We've got Norm stuff we got to keep up with. We've got Lucy and Maximus we got to keep up with. We got Brotherhood of Steel, which we've not even talked about. And they're looking like they're going to bring up Liberty Prime again. And like, did you see that credit scene, by the way, Calvert?
You see Liberty Prime in the credit scene?
You don't see the actual Liberty Prime, but Qantas or Quintus, whatever that guy's name is, he has the blueprints for Liberty Prime Alpha.
Oh.
And so
awesome.
he's going to build Liberty Prime. And where the crap are they pointing that thing at? Because that is
what is Liberty Prime?
It's like a 60-foot tall
giant
robot. Yeah, it's the Iron Giant, but it's got rockets, and the rockets are nukes. Like it just shoots nukes. Yeah,
it's a monster.
And whoever they point that at is screwed.
Okay.
So check this out. So Bethesda or Tom Howard or whoever, they have set up Fallout 5 to release in 2030. So that is in 4 years. So, but think about it, Bert. If this show is canon and this game is going to continue with the canon, to me, it means we should have 2027, 8, and possibly 9 of having this Fallout TV show.
That's what I was going to say. Boy, it would be a great, awesome idea to have the game come out with that season that is going to be taking place as the game, so you could do both.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Drew, what's going to happen is the show's going to end. It's going to go into a game, and all the show watchers are going to be pissed, and all the gamers are going to be happy. But, Perk, my thought was they've already put the ghoul in Fallout 76, and they captured him perfectly. It's all Walton Goggins' voice. He looks just like him. He's got the persona. You walk up, and he's like, hey, man, back off. This one's mine. Like he's standing over his guy that's dead.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's
I mean,
exciting to see what's going to happen.
You could be right about what you said earlier, and they do like a Ghoul spinoff game, and because like. When's the last time they did a spinoff like they did Tactics and Brotherhood of Steel and all that stuff? They haven't done a spinoff game in a while. It's all been mainline. So there may be something behind the scenes going on that, we don't know about, that maybe that's what happens.
I'm going to make my plea real quick to Bethesda and Tom Howard. Please keep Walt Goggins in this show. Find a way. I don't care if they're dead. Let him find it out quickly and return by episode 2.
Yeah.
No, I hope they're alive. I hope there's something that happens, but I just can't help but think that the nail is in the coffin for his character.
Is it possible that the way we get around it is a time jump and the season starts with him pulling up to Colorado?
That's possible. It is possible. It could be that we fast forward into another stalemate, almost like trench warfare, where the NCRs dug in. The Legion's been camping outside of New Vegas for 6 months, and it could be. It could.
Mm-hmm.
That would make a lot of sense. It would help avoid some of the situations like you were talking about, Calvert. Well, I had planned to do all of our predictions for season 3, but that's kind of pretty much what we've done the entire episode, is just kind of give some ideas of where we think the show's going. So, yeah, is there anything else y'all want to add to Fallout for the last episode of Fallout on the pilot episode for quite some time?
The one more thing I did want to bring up to you, Calvert. Do you think it was like in character for Caesar to have his note say that I am Caesar? This is basically there is no other Caesar.
Yeah.
Whatever his note said.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, I am Legion. It ends with me.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen other people saying that, he wouldn't have done that. He already had somebody picked in New Vegas. And I have not personally played New Vegas, so I didn't know if that was.
And that may be true. That may be true. I haven't seen that in a while, but you also have to think, guys, is obviously if he had someone picked, he stayed in power for 15 more years, because this show happens 15 years after New Vegas. Mm-hmm. And so what changes in 15 years? I mean, look at Mr. House. We all know that the courier found Mr. House. He's actually physically in there, hooked up to a machine, and he looks like a 300-year-old zombie, because that's what he is, and he's all hooked up and whatnot.
He's basically kind of hooked up like the mainframe, but without decapitating him, basically.
Yes, exactly. And so we didn't see that yet. But yeah, here. I don't know if the camera will focus. This is what we find in Fallout. That's Mr. House.
Here, hold on. Let me zoom in on you right quick. Let's get the full screen there so they can see it.
Oh,
there you are.
Worse. Yeah, he's a funny looking filler.
Yeah. Look, he's in here all. It looks like a.
It's like
I'm trying to keep the offensive things off this podcast. I was going to say it looks like Tua got sacked again, but
oh wow!
But I didn't say it, so it don't count. YouTube thing.
It's like a mummification type of thing in a way. I don't know, but yeah, I do wonder, because it has been 15 years, so surely his body would be somewhere else. But like, I wonder what happened to him, like his physical self, in that 15 years, and I wonder if we'll ever know.
I don't want to drag this on, because I know we wanted to keep it at 30, and we're right there at it. But knowing what I know now, I have to say, and people might hate me for this, I don't think Mr. House is a great guy, but I don't necessarily think he's as horrible as I thought he was when he's out here just popping dudes' heads. And if you look at it, he's kind of like the Punisher. Those guys were bad guys anyways. And now that I know he didn't drop the bombs like they led us to believe for a whole season, I think my Fallout New Vegas play, I think I would actually finally end it with siding with Mr. House, if that's even possible. I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's the bad guy we all thought he was, now that we've watched this as much as we have. I think it's just another guy, just another one on top of everyone else that we've already talked about, where they're trying to do the right thing for them, and it just comes in conflict sometimes with what we may see as being the moral correct thing at times. So,
yeah, and we don't know that it's going to we don't know that it's going to stay the Enclave. It might turn out that feral ghouls are all faking, and they're the ones pulling all the strings behind the scenes. Like, we don't know that it's going to remain that the Enclave is the most horrible, even though we're all pretty sure of it right now.
What about that group that the ghoul was taken to of the abominations. Is that what it was?
Super mutants.
Super mutants. What happened with them? Where'd they go?
Yeah,
That's coming. That's
Yeah,
coming.
we've not seen them since then, but the fact that they had
It's
Ron
part of the rule.
Perlman voice that one, I feel like it's going to be a big thing. Also, I did not realize when we talked about them before, Ron Perlman is in every Fallout game. Actually,
Wow.
yeah, he is the one that originally said war never changes.
Okay.
Something just. That's a great point. War never changes. Fallout 3 ends in huge battle. Fallout 4, the Great War. Fallout New Vegas, huge battle. Do we think that is it possible Season 3 concludes this with a monstrous battle?
Well, I mean,
where the abominations or this whatever he so it looks like that super mutants and ghouls are joining forces.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, there's still some things from New Vegas we haven't seen. Like I think it's Centaurs. We haven't seen Centaurs. We haven't seen Nightkin. So there's still things we haven't seen.
Which is
And-
what Centaurs is what some people think Thaddeus is turning into because of him losing his arm and that weird
thing
mouth
on it, yeah,
on
it's
his
like a mouth.
shoulder. Yeah.
They are nasty things, dude. So the Brotherhood is still the remnants of them. They come and Mr. House does something. I don't know. The Legion and the NCR and the Enclave and all these guys. Are we about to have just like a monstrous war over New Vegas that detonates New Vegas? Lucy and Maximus make it out and they travel to Colorado to find the ghoul, and the story presumes there. Who knows? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
there's just so many different ways this show could go.
Definitely.
There's a lot more negative reviews than I thought there would be. There's a lot of people who just call this season a filler season because there's so many different things going on, and we never get just this drastic answer to like some of the themes that are taking place. It's one thing after another.
it's setting the play up though, and that's what mid seasons are supposed to do. It sets up the play. And
Yeah.
like you said, when they have 8 episodes, you just kind of got to look at it like you just watched chapter 2. You didn't necessarily watch a full story that is season. It's still one long story of how Lucy gets to where she's going and makes her final decision and what she
Yeah.
decides. That's still what this is.
It's going to happen with the way they decided to structure the show. Like they're not doing set up a story, end a story in one season like they do in like The Walking Dead a lot of times or something like that. They're doing it differently than a lot of other shows. It's the whole entire show is going to be one whole story.
One book. One
Yes.
story.
Yeah. And that's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah, you got the other ones. Yeah, you Fabian. You got the other ones, and it's like you said, like with The Walking Dead, that's a book. Season 1, you could write a book on that. Season 2, we went from mid to late story, in my opinion. I think max we get 1 or 2 more seasons, depending on what kind of curveball they can throw in with lengthening things anyways. But like Perk, now that you've played a game, I've kind of been thinking that the whole time. We just got to see another window of one long story.
Yeah.
One long story. I hope they just take season 3, drop it all in one day like they did last time, let us binge it, and try their best to push whatever's next out.
It's not good for us, but I get what you're saying because we operate on a week-to-week basis.
And I have to say this, so there's pros and cons because right now I think it's good us doing this one days after it released because in all reality, doing it the day it releases, we're a spoiler episode like everybody else on TikTok where I'd already seen what happened before I got to watch it. So, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's good. It's fine for y'all. It ain't good for me. I'm out of a job, dude. They was paying me $300 an hour to do this. I'm kidding.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for Fallout, unless y'all have one more thing.
That's all I got on this one.
I loved it. Oh, Neil said season 2 was better than season 1.
I don't agree with that, but I it is what it is.
Hot take from Neil. Always hot takes from Neil.
Always. Never fails. I do want to give a big congratulations to Perk. You have now made it a full episode without zooming in on your beautiful face.
I know. I saw that. That's it's a big day. I'm conscious of talking with my hands now because I do it every time I talk, and that's what does it.
I don't know what to do with my hand.
That's how I feel.
All right. Well, we've enjoyed doing Fallout. We will be back the next time Fallout puts it out, whether it be like Calvert wants for a full season at one time. We'll do a recap or something of some sort, or if it's week to week, just like this. We will be back for Fallout whenever it happens again. We enjoy the show. We hope you enjoy the show, and we hope you all enjoyed listening to us talk about it. So if you do, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell Aunt Deborah, not Grandma, the pilot episode has put out another episode. Perk, you want to tell them?
Was he?
The pilot episode.